Welcome back. It's blowing a gale outside, 50 mph plus, so apologies if you can hear that noise. Anyway, today I'm going to take that exhaust, which is all nice and shiny and new looking, going to put it back on the bike, and I'm also going to have a go at fabricating a heel guard, which will double up as exhaust bracket as well. Okay, let's crack on.
So I purchased new bolts, stainless steel bolts for the exhaust because the other ones were corroded, and when I took them out they sheared off. So I've cleared out all the threads and everything. New stainless steel bolts, slightly too long, touching the case. The next size bolt down too short to actually get in, and would only be fully engaged in the thread when it's done up tight. And I don't want to strip it because then I've got to wait for new parts to come through. So just going to trim it off with an angle grinder, and then I'm going to put it in a drill and just chamfer that edge just so that it goes into it easier without any cross threading. So just makes it a little bit shorter, just flattens off the end, and I don't know if you can see that, just puts a nice little chamfer on the end. If you've been watching, you know I'm not a great lover of anything too chromy or shiny, but if you are going to have a bit of stainless steel, a little bit of quick polishing is just amazing. That wheel that worked so well on the exhausts just brings up the dullest bit of stainless steel. That's like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Better than the back side, but yeah, it really does come up very nice. Cool. Rather than use an existing heel plate like that and then a separate bracket to support the silencer, I'm going to fabricate a new bracket which is going to be a little bit deeper towards the back of the bike, and the bracket for the silencer will bolt straight onto the end of it, so it just looks a bit tidier. I don't like the steel or alley chrome sort of effect anyway, so that's what I'll be doing. So I've actually made a template in cardboard, and I've got to put one on the top here as well, but I'm just going to have a slight return on it for two reasons. One, you won't see the raw edge of the steel, and secondly, it will give it a little bit more strength against bending just by sort of putting a return on it. And on that corner there, and I think one other corner, I'm not along here, I'm just going to sort of just tack weld it and just tidy it up, clean it up a little bit, so it will be flat. And I think on this front edge I'm just going to slightly chamfer that in, just with a slight return like that, just so that it doesn't stick out proud and there's no sharp edges. So So it's coming along nicely. It's all cleaned up and filed, drilled the holes in the right place, and I've got this top edge which is going to have the return on it, and one down this side a little bit here and there. So yeah, it's all there. I thought I'd try it on the bike, and then yeah, not quite right. So this is the original one, and I should have used this as a starter. I kind of did and I didn't. I used it for the holes certainly, and used the principles of returning this edge around to give it more strength without adding too much weight. What I failed to notice was that this top edge, I just assumed was 90 degrees, but it's not. That wind's blowing a gale out there. So, in fact, it's a fair bit off 90 degrees. The consequence of it is that when you cut it in a template and it is 90 degrees, the bracket, because this side is not vertical, sits down like that and just doesn't look right. And of course what you want it to do is to look nice and parallel to the floor when the bike is off the stand. I've just sort of measured it, and the purple lines there reflect what it should be, but of course now there's not enough room because the holes are too high and this side's not long enough. So yeah, it doesn't always go right, and we learn from our mistakes. There we are, back to the drawing board. Okay, there's the old and the new bracket. This is so the exhaust can bolt straight up on the back of this bracket. And here was the one I spent a couple of hours building this morning, fabricating this morning. And as you can see, it's significantly different. So we learn by our mistakes. So there's the bracket. These bits have obviously got to be folded down, and just going to tack weld the corners and file it all up. What I'm going to do is just remove some of the metal here and a couple of little slots, not primarily because of the weight, but more because just aesthetics really, just to sort of give a bit more of an engineered look as opposed to a slab of metal. But yeah, that fits nicely, and when finished, not lots and lots of brackets upon brackets and so on and so forth. So yep, let's carry on. Right, I'm getting bored of this now. A few things. The bracket works really well. I've tried it out. But I thought I'd put some lines in it, and I got confused despite very carefully measuring it out. So when I was measuring it, I was measuring from this edge instead of the folded edge, which is the purple line. So I drilled that one in the wrong place, and that one in the wrong place. It's kind of screwed it up a bit, and when I was angle grinding it, I just caught the end there and just nicked it. And I could spend hours filing this until it looked half decent, but the fact is the chances of getting that looking good is remote. So I may have to accept that this is something I'm going to have another go at, or I'll take it somewhere and have a CNC machined piece of aluminium or steel. But I'm going to have a go at bending it anyway, because I've got to do some bending and welding on the side panels. So just chalk it up to experience and use this as a practice for the side panels. So we'll give that a go and see how it comes out. It's the sort of thing, like if it was almost there and it was just those two holes in the wrong place, I might even have a go at filling those in with weld, grinding it down and taking it from there. But it's not looking great. But it's the first time I've done it, so you know, the next one, the third one, might be even better.
Right, so that's the bracket. That's the kind of thing I was looking for. You have to obviously ignore these two holes here and here, and it's going to take a little bit more effort, I think, and design and a CNC machine somewhere along the line. But yeah, it was interesting, but not overly productive. Anyway, that's it for today. Just a day gone, but yeah, if you don't try, you don't learn, do you? There we are.